Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my summer book haul. So I haven't done a book haul in a while now that I've decided to do them more seasonally than monthly. So my last book haul was my spring book haul, and those were the books that I got in March, April, May. So now I'm going to share with you the books that I got in June, July, August, and like the first week in September up until now. There are quite a few of them. There are 15, so this is definitely going to be my largest book haul yet. So I'm super excited. So let's just jump right in. The first book I have is My Lady Jane by Cynthia Han, Brody Ashton, and Jodie Meadows. This was our Muggle Studies book club pick for June, and I've already read this book and I really enjoyed it. I ended up giving it a 4 out of 5 stars. This book, we follow 3 main characters. We follow Jane, King Edward, and G. And King Edward is dying. So he is trying to marry off his cousin, Jane, to G. And so we're following the 3 perspectives on what is going on. Of course, chaos happens and there's a little bit of magic involved. This is historical fiction and it's set in the time of Henry VIII's reign. It's really good. I really enjoyed the historical fiction part of it. I really enjoyed the magic aspect of it, and I love Jane's character and G's character as well, and Edward as well. I really enjoyed all the characters. So I ended up giving this a 4 out of 5 stars. If you want to know more about this book, we do have our live show that I will leave linked down below, and we go into a whole bunch of details and we talk about like spoilers and stuff. So if you're interested in that, definitely go check it out. I really enjoyed this one. Next, I picked up my very first manga, and that is Vampire Knight Volumes 1, 2, and 3 by Matsuri Hino, and I've already read Volume 1, which I really enjoyed, but I haven't read Volumes 2 or 3 yet. I've also watched the anime on Netflix, and I ended up giving Volume 1 a 4 out of 5 stars. Like I said, I really enjoyed it. It was my first manga ever reading, and it took me a little while to get the hang of it at the beginning of like how to read it, but once I did, I got through it really quickly. So in this manga, we follow our main character, Yuki Cross, and she is a guardian at the Cross Academy that has 2 classes, the night class and the day class. And what is special about the night class is that they are all vampires. And Yuki's job, along with Zero, who is another guardian, is to help transition the day class from the night class. So like kind of help with that transition between class change, basically keep them separated and keep the day class, finding out that the night classes are vampires, and to also keep the day class safe. Next, I have another manga, and that is Magi by Shinobu Otaka, and Kevin bought me this manga. He and I did the Husband Buys My Books challenge, where we went to a bookstore and he picked out 5 books that he thought I would like, and one of them was a manga. So he picked up Magi for me, and unfortunately I have already read it and I didn't enjoy it very much. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars, and I feel like that's being really generous. I did enjoy the last half of the book, so this is kind of like an Aladdin retelling, and I liked seeing Aladdin go on his adventure with Alibaba, and they're going to like the dungeons, but the first half I had trouble following the plot, and I felt like there was a lot of sexualizing of women that I thought was unnecessary. Kevin actually read this one with me, and he's watched the anime, and he told me the anime was a little bit better than the first manga, so I might watch the first episode just to kind of see what it's about, but honestly I don't think I'm gonna finish this series or continue on with the series. I wasn't really invested in the story, and I would much rather read Vampire Knight, or maybe try another manga like Full Metal Alchemist or something like that. Next, I picked up 4 books in the Bloodlines series by Rochelle Mead, and I need to buy the first 2 books. I only have book 3, 4, 5, and 6. I don't know why I didn't buy books 1 and 2, so I need to buy those to complete the series. So like I said, I have book 3, which is the Indigo Spell. I've already read it, and I rated it a 5 out of 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. I also have book 4, which is The Fiery Heart, which I've also read and gave a 5 out of 5 stars. Then I have book 5, Silver Shadows, I have not read, and then the last book, book 6, The Ruby Circle, which I also have not read. So I only need to read 2 more books in the series to have it complete. I absolutely love this series. I don't want to go into too much details about it because it is the spin-off series to the Vampire Academy series by Rochelle Mead, but all I'm going to say is that if you loved Sydney's character, who is an alchemist, and Adrian's character in Vampire Academy, then you are going to love, love, love this series. It is so, so good. I think I've given every single book a 5 out of 5 stars so far. Also, Hannah and I are doing a read-along for the Bloodlines series with our Muggle Studies book club, and we have already read up into the Indigo Spell. So we have a live show for both Bloodlines, the Golden Lily, and the Indigo Spell, and this month for September we are reading the Fiery Heart. So we haven't had our live show yet for it, so if you want to join in on our read-along, you still can. We still have 3 more books to read in the series. Well, I've already read the Fiery Heart, but we haven't had our live show yet. So that will be towards the end of September, and then Silver Shadows will be for October, and then the Ruby Circle will be for November. So if you're interested in joining our read-along, the information will be down below for our Goodreads page, and we will let you know when our September live show is. The next book I have is A Study in Charlotte by Brittany Cavallaro, and this was another Muggle Studies book club pick. This was for August, and I also enjoyed this one. I ended up giving it a 4 out of 5 stars as well, and this is a Sherlock Holmes retelling, which I think is really unique. And what is so cool is that Sherlock Holmes actually existed in this world. So we follow our 2 main characters, Charlotte and Jamie. Charlotte is the great-great-great-granddaughter of Sherlock Holmes, and Jamie is the great-great-great-grandson of Dr. John Watson. And so it is really, really, really cool. So the 2 of them are at a prep school in Connecticut, and one of their classmates winds up dead, murdered, and they are trying to solve it. So it's really cool. I love the banter between both Charlotte and Jamie. It's really fun and unique, and it really kind of follows that Sherlock Holmes vibes. So if you are familiar with the story, I've never read a Sherlock Holmes story, but I'm really familiar with the story, so I was able to appreciate it. So I think if you go in with like having some knowledge of the Sherlock Holmes stories, then I think you'll really, really enjoy it. And we also have our live show for this that we did at the end of August, and I will leave that link down below if you're interested in our thoughts and spoilers and stuff like that. The next book I have is The Reef by Nora Roberts, and this was another book from my husband picks my books challenge, and he picked this one for the adult fiction challenge, but he knows I love Nora Roberts and I had never read The Reef, and I absolutely love her standalone mystery romance novels, so I have already read this one. Unfortunately, it wasn't my favorite. I did enjoy it, but it wasn't like amazing. I didn't enjoy the format that much. It's set in past, present, future, so I didn't really like that very much. And then the characters got on my nerves a little bit, and the romance I feel wasn't very believable, and I didn't like the romance as much as I do her other books. But I really love the plot, and I love the idea of like treasure hunting. So basically in this novel we follow 2 main characters. We follow Tate and Matthew, and Tate is a marine archaeologist, and she is looking for sunken treasure, and so is Matthew, and the 2 of them team up together to find a specific treasure that was supposedly lost hundreds of years ago, and apparently this treasure also has like a curse with it. So I really enjoyed that, but the characters were so I ended up giving this, I think, a like 3.75 out of 5 stars, so it was still good, just not my favorite. And I've kind of been on a Nora Roberts like binge lately, so I also picked up Northern Lights. I read this book probably like 10 years ago, so this is a reread for me, but I've forgotten so much about it that it's kind of new. I've forgotten a lot of the characters and a lot of like the mini plots and stuff like that, so I'm really enjoying it. I'm currently about 100 pages through, so I'm not very far because this is a 560 plus page book, so it's gonna take me some while to get through it, but as of right now I'm already really enjoying it. Like, I think this is gonna end up being definitely over a 4 out of 5 stars. So in this story we follow 2 main characters, which is kind of what Nora Roberts books are mainly. We always have our female protagonist and our male protagonist. And in this story, we follow Nate, who is a police officer from Baltimore, and he went through a tragic accident where his partner was killed. So he moves to a small town in Alaska called Lunacy to be chief. And then we follow Meg, who was born and raised in Lunacy, and she is dealing with her father abandoning her when she was really young, like 3 years old, and being raised by her mom. So chaos, of course, erupts. I believe there is a murder, because these are her like murder mysteries, and the two of them kind of team up together to figure out what's going on. Next, I have The Becoming of Noah Shaw by Michelle Hodkin. This was another book that Kevin picked for me, and I think this was for the young adult challenge, and I'm really excited. I haven't read this one yet, but this is the spin-off series to The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer, which I absolutely adored. I loved that trilogy so much, so I'm really excited to read The Becoming of Noah Shaw. Unfortunately, I've heard that it's not like the best. Not a lot of people have been disappointed, but I'm hoping that I won't be disappointed and that I'm really going to enjoy it. So I haven't picked it up yet. It's not like on my immediate TBR, but I will definitely be picking it up soon. I honestly have no idea what it's about. I kind of want to go into it just completely blind, just because I love the trilogy so much. I'm just gonna go into it knowing that the story is continuing on. Next, I have Eon, Dragon Eye Reborn by Allison Goodman, and this was another book that Kevin picked for the Husband Picks My Books challenge, and this is about dragons. So this was kind of like his choice to pick whatever he wanted, and he picked young adult with dragons, and we are reading this one together, and so far I'm enjoying it. I'm only on page 35, but it's really interesting. Like, the magic system is really unique, and the dragon system, and it's really interesting, and the world building is pretty cool. So in this story, we follow our main character, Iona. She is a 16-year-old girl, but she is disguised as a, I believe, 11 or 12-year-old boy named Eon, so that she can practice dragon magic, because girls are not allowed to. So I think this is like a Mulan type of retelling, and yeah, as of right now, I'm enjoying it, and I'm excited to see where this story is gonna go. Next, I have Artemis Fowl graphic novel, and this was, I think this is the last one that Kevin picked for me, so this was for the graphic novel challenge. I did read this one, and I really enjoyed it. I think I gave it like a 4.5 out of 5 stars, and I hear that it's a really good adaptation to the Artemis Fowl books, which I think I might pick up, because Artemis Fowl apparently is a villain, and it's really interesting, it's really unique. I absolutely loved the drawings and the art style in this book, and I love that kind of each character had a kind of like a classified file page. So it just, all in all, is a really unique story, and I really want to read more about Artemis Fowl. And finally, the last book for this book haul is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor, and this is our September Muggle Studies book club pick. I'm so excited to read this one. I've heard nothing but great reviews on Strange the Dreamer. From what I hear, it's like an Atlantis retelling. So we follow our main character, Laszlo Strange, and he is obsessed with the lost city of Weep, and apparently an opportunity presents itself so that he can go, I think, on like an expedition to go find the city of Weep. But anyways, I'm really excited to read this one. The cover is just stunning. It's beautiful. As of right now, we do not have a date for our live show yet, but the second we do have a date, we will let you know on Goodreads, Twitter, and of course in future YouTube videos. Okay guys, well that is it for my massive book haul for summer. I hope you enjoyed this video. Now comes the hard part of trying to pick up all these books. There are, 15 of them, so hopefully these won't all fall on top of me, but this is going to be fun to get a thumbnail. Here are all the books that I got for the summer. And honestly, I've read most of them. I think there's only a few that I haven't read, so I'd say that's pretty dang good. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time in another video. Bye!